interactive session, hopefully. It will be about Bitcoin multisig wallets. Before we start, I would like to say that those who would like to participate in the workshop, create the keys and participate in the multisig, please come forward. There are tables so that you can put your laptops and operate on your hardware wallets there. And hopefully people will participate in the multisig. Otherwise, I can demonstrate it on my computer, but that's less fun. Okay, a couple of words about the company. It was founded in 2021 in Neuchâtel. It is a small company. We are only a couple of people, and we mainly do services in the Bitcoin multisig space, consulting, technical analysis, key management. Besides that, we also have other services such as, for example, recovery services when people lose a portion of their wallet, 24 words, for example. If you lose a couple of words, it is still possible to recover, but if you lose many words, mathematically there is no way. I mean, you will need a lot of time to brute force and recover your wallet. So that's also one of the services that we do. Who has used multisig wallets here? Okay. Who uses custodial wallets? Oh, okay. So you probably already know the difference between different types of wallets. So let's start just before we go into Bitcoin multisig wallets. I would like to remind you the difference. For example, why are custodial wallets dangerous? A typical example of custodial wallets are wallets that you create online, Coinbase, Binance, any exchange. Those wallets are convenient. Yes, you can exchange, buy, sell very fast. But the problem is that someone has to take care of your private key. And as you know, in Bitcoin, in the white paper, there is a sentence which states that you should control, you should own your keys, you should control them, and you should run your own full node if you want to benefit fully from this protocol called Bitcoin. So if you use custodial wallets, online wallets, you lose a part of this powerful mechanism. So that would be the first step. Then, if you want to improve your setup, you might use a hot wallet. Hot wallet might be, for example, on a phone, on a computer, or in other ecosystems. It's popular. You have those browser plugins. Those are hot wallets, which means that the key is stored on your computer. And the computer is a general purpose device, so you should never trust it to handle secret material, to handle private keys. You can do many useful things, but you should not store your private keys on the computer. And that's the reason why we had the whole ecosystem of hardware wallets getting developed. Okay, the next step in this hierarchy would be a hot wallet on a phone. The difference here is that the phone, often today phones have secure elements and material that is sensitive, like passwords, or, for example, when you unlock your phone with a fingerprint, that information is stored on the secure element, and that is way better than, for example, storing information on your computer, for example, because the secure element is designed in a way that if you try to attack it, it destroys itself. There are various methods, but it is very stupid. It is very limited in terms of memory, in terms of power, of computing power, but it protects your secrets. The next step would be an air-gapped computer. Air-gapped means that the device is not connected to the internet. So it all depends on the level of paranoia, but some people, for example, will never run hard software wallets on Windows machines. Or some people will even go and remove the Wi-Fi and the network card from the device, from the computer, so that they are sure that the device does not cannot communicate. So this is an air-gapped setup, and some people do use that because in the Bitcoin community there are people who do not trust hardware wallets. And one of the reasons is because hard wallets today, most of them, which have secure elements, those secure elements are not open source. You cannot audit them easily. You need to sign NDA agreements and so on. So it's not as easy as auditing, for example, some free software, And some people are reluctant to that, and they don't want to use hardware wallets for that reason. The next step would be so hardware wallets, for example, Cold Card or Spectre DIY or Ledger devices. So those are the 3 devices that I planned on using for the demo if no one wants to participate, but I see there is a lot of people, and hopefully we will have a multisig between you, and I don't have to do the demo on my computer. And so the advantage here is that compared to previous solutions is that now the key is on the device, and you have immediately so many advantages. For example, I can leave this device here, and if someone takes it, there is a couple of pin attempts, and after that the device will erase the seed, and it will be restored to default settings, and there is no key, it's useless. Whereas, for example, if you keep a private key on a computer and it's poorly protected, there is a very weak password, some malware or someone who gets access to your computer might extract that seed and obtain it and use it. The next improvement would be passphrases. I guess that you are aware. Passphrases are simply the same setup, hardware wallets, or actually even hot wallets. So you have the 24 words, and then on top of that you have an additional 25th word, which is actually not a word. It can be it doesn't have to come from the official dictionary of 2048 words. You can add random, the weather is very nice today, for example, as a passphrase, and that will be combined with the 24 words, and those 2 pieces of information, thanks to HD wallets, which is a standard widely adopted and used in Bitcoin, which allows you to have hierarchically deterministic wallets. This means that whenever you input the same information, you will always get the same output. And that's also important because without that, you would have interoperability issues if you change wallets or you change setups. So, for example, if you create a wallet with this device and let's say it gets stolen, and it happens that you have on your hand, you have a different device, but you still have the recovery phrase. Thanks to that beep, the standard, you will be able to recover your wallet. The next step would be multisig wallets, and we are going to cover that today. Multisig wallets it's a very old technology. The script is more than 10 years old. It is very limited, but it is robust, and that's the most widely adopted and used way of handling securely Bitcoin. And that's why we are going to cover that today, but you are probably aware that there are more modern ways of safekeeping your Bitcoin, and one of those would be, for example, Miniscript-enabled wallets. Kevin from Liana had a presentation yesterday, so that's one of the Miniscript wallets that is very popular among Bitcoiners. And there you can have programmable logic, which is not really, I mean, it is more cumbersome with traditional multisig. So with Miniscript, you can have, for example, time locks, and you can have multiple spending paths. If your first spending path becomes unavailable, you can use the additional ones that are under time lock. And obviously, as you increase as you reach higher levels of this self-sovereign pyramid, you will gain in robustness, resilience of your wallet, and you will improve your self-custody, definitely. Multisig wallets, there are many advantages. Some of them are that you will have distributed control. This means that, for example, for companies, you can have a wallet operated by the CEO, CFO, and compliance officer, for example, or an external person, a lawyer, and that is beneficial for, obviously, for security. If, for example, the key usually used by the CFO is unavailable, you can have other participants, other co-signers co-signing, and then you can move on with your business. Other use cases are, for example, inheritance or joint accounts. Those are more for private individuals. Interoperable, or the PSBT standard, means simply that there is a file, there is a way that the device can communicate its signature. It's partially signed. Actually, PSBT stands for partially signed Bitcoin transaction. It is a standard, a BIP. And so this device will create, in a multisig, will create a partial signature, and I can export it then via various means, for example, QR scanner, or SD card, or cable. And in that way, you can exchange between cosigners. And without that, multisig would be very complicated. Actually, probably impossible, because you need a protocol that allows you to communicate between cosigners. The problems with single sig, I already covered that previously. And let's start the demo. Actually, I have two options. The first option is the one where you work, and maybe I do the coordinator. So I have Sparrow, which is one of the options that we have here. So we might have used, there are other wallets that support multisig. This one has a nice UX, UI. So if you want to participate, I would need, let's say, 3 people. I would like to create a 2 out of 3 multisig. Or I have a setup that I have already created, and I can demonstrate that on my computer. So do I have 3 participants? Can I count on you? Yes, 1. Okay, second. You have a wallet? Okay, so Schwartz has 4 devices? Okay, so I mean, let's try not to use only one device, because I didn't mention that, but one of the, in order to fully benefit from the multisig, it should be multi-factor, meaning that you are not creating a multisig with only, for example, cold card devices. It defeats the purpose a little bit. You should mix different manufacturers. So that's why I have Spectre DIY and a different device and a different device. And so you have Ledger. What do you have? So that's one device. We have Spectre. Do we have some other device like Big Box or TabSigner? Okay. You have it with a smart card or without? Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Okay, so this is why I have created here this this is a online text editor. Those who would like to participate, please go to this web page here, hebdo.framapad.org/p/plan B_multisig. And this is where I will this is where just copy link. Okay, so as you can see, I put my key, but I will, since I have more than enough, we will have to put some other name here. Vrador, okay. Audience. So he's, Thibaut, can you please put your Xpub somewhere? Maybe here. Okay. It's here. Is it big enough? The link, can you see it? Okay.
It would also be possible to take a phone wallet, right, to use in a multi-signature, or would you discourage it?
If it's, I wouldn't, for the purpose of the demo, yes, we can, if the wallet supports multisig, but as I have said previously, the advantage of multisig is that you have hardware wallets from different manufacturers. This is really important, and one of the really important reasons, as you will see later as we create the multisig, is that you need to import the descriptor of that newly created wallet into your hardware wallet, and only on the screen of the hardware wallet you will be able to check that your device is participating in the right multisig, and you should do that on all devices. And if you use phone wallets, I don't think they can import. And as I have mentioned in the beginning, your computer is a general purpose device and you should never trust it. So, okay, yeah, okay, you can, but it's...
Will every hardware wallet be able to participate in a multisig?
Okay, technically they can, because multisig wallets are simply a different way of deriving addresses, so you can derive, but it's better to use devices that are that support multisig, because otherwise you cannot properly see the descriptor, you can actually not even import it, and you will have to derive, if multisig is not supported, you will have to create custom derivation, not custom, but you will have to create the derivation path needed for multisig on your own, and that is dangerous. That is where people who are maybe not careful enough can make a mistake somewhere and lock their funds because they simply use the different derivation path. And this is why most of the wallets that you're using are very simple in terms of interface, so that people avoid those kinds of mistakes and lock themselves out of their funds. I don't have a slide, but I can tell you right now. So Ledger devices, all of them support multisig. Here I have Flex. Even the older, even Nano S supports multisig. So yes, we don't hear you. Then there is Spectre DIY, which is one of my favorite wallets. It's a very old project, and it is completely auditable. There is even a support for smart cards, so you can have a secure element there. and it's a DIY wallet, so you can make it on your own. You can assemble it. Cold card, MK3, 4, and new devices Q. And Bitbox 02. Yes, since recently, yes, they support the import of the multisig onto the device. Yeah.
You know, starting with what model?
The latest model.
5 or 7?
I forgot the name, but
They issued a new one like days ago, and then before they had 5 and 3.
okay, if it's I was not even aware of the one that came out a couple of days ago. So the model before that works also.
Yeah, I think the older Trezor is not ideal. It works, but there's the question is whether it be able to verify the address. And
Yeah, that's
it can sign, but then you cannot see whether the address is correct.
As I have said previously, technically everything is possible because it's just a way of deriving addresses. But the problem is that if you cannot verify the descriptor of the wallet on the screen of your hardware wallets, that defeats the purpose. You are blindly signing something, and actually this problem is very obvious and very widely spread in other ecosystems, Ethereum and other ecosystems, where people blindly sign transactions because you cannot import them. Very often smart contracts, you cannot import those on hardware wallets. There is simply no support, and people just click YOLO signing, just blindly sign something. So in those cases, often it's better to use single sig wallets, because at least with single sig wallets you can check what's going on the screen of the hardware wallet. So this shows you that multisigs are not always the best solution. You need to be aware of advantages and problems. Do we have the XPubs? Oh, I only have one. Mainnet. I will send a couple of thousand sats from my phone, and then I will ask you to send that back to me. I mean, minus the transaction fees. Should I provide the XPubs? Okay, let's go. While we are waiting for that, I want to show you how Sparrow wallet looks. It is one of the, in my opinion, best wallets for coordinating multisig. There are other wallets, obviously. The team behind Spectre, they also have a coordinator called Spectre Desktop. Blue Wallet has a nice UX UI for phones. So we are going to create a new wallet, simply new wallet. We need to name it Participative Plan B. And now you have the options here. You can create a single sig wallet. Actually, here you can create almost all of the wallets that you saw on the first slide. So if I choose single sig here and I create here a new seed, it will be a hot wallet. You will see that that's the seed, and the seed was generated by the computer, so that's a hot wallet. We don't want to do that. And you can use the passphrase that I mentioned previously. You can, nice weather that I said previously. So if you do that, you will have a wallet that will need the 24 words plus the passphrase in order to access your funds. If you forget this, and you only have the 24 words. If the passphrase is not very long, you can try to brute force it, but pretty often, pretty fast it gets complicated and you lose access to your wallet. So you should be careful with passphrases. So what we want to do is multisig. Here simply, those are different scripts, different standards. Today all wallets, all new wallets use native SegWit. I will not go into details. This is, for example, for older wallets. If you had funds in some other setup, and let's say you forgot about your wallet for 7 years, and now you're trying to recover it, you will have to probably use something like this, legacy. And this stands for pay to script hash. It's a script, which is different from the one that are used today, so we're going to use the standard of today. And this is where everything happens. So we have key number 1, key number 2, and key number 3. I need to adjust the multisig quorum is 2 out of 3. That's exactly what I wanted. You can go up to 15 signatories. It's not very, I don't see very often multisigs that are that big, because as you add keys, then you need to be careful about backups. And actually that's something very, very important that I didn't mention. I should probably mention that right now. Backups, even in multisig wallets, backups are very important, because in this case here, where we have 2 out of 3, we can lose 1 key and okay, we are still fine, we can spend funds. But if you did not back up the descriptor and you only have the keys, it will not work, because the descriptor is the spending policy. It's the equation that tells the wallet how you should spend funds. And if you don't have that and you only have the inputs, the keys, it will not work. So okay, let's start with the creation of the wallet. The first one will be Nico's key, which is so it will be air gapped. No, yeah, this one. No, here. This one. Watch only wallet means that I do not have access to that wallet. Meaning, it means that my coordinator software is not going to extract the XPub, for example, as with my connected devices. That is the meaning of watch only wallet. You cannot spend. So I need to copy his key here. This one. And the derivation is the standard one. I will get it later because I have to. Okay, I will use my device then here. I will use Spectre DIY because it has a QR reader, and that allows me to have a completely air-gapped setup, meaning that the device will communicate with my computer via QR code. So there is no cable. I mean, the cable here is for the battery. So the device has a key. All I have to do here is go back to master public keys. There is an option called multisig. Multisig, it will derive the XPub. And I want to, where is it? Air-gapped, so it's here. And Sparrow is, one of the advantages is that, as you can see here, they support a lot of hardware wallets, and this is easy because there are some small differences between the way the devices are communicating. So I need to choose Spectre DIY, which is here, and I want to scan. And so I have the XPub here. I need to, yes, that's it. So as you can see, this field here is free. By default, it's called like that. This is the fingerprint of the key that is inside of the wallet. And this is the derivation path. That's the XPub. ZPub is just a different format, but different representation of the same information. And so this is the standard derivation path for multisig. And this is what you will need to use, for example, if what we mentioned before, someone asked, can we use multisig on any wallets? So if it doesn't support natively multisig, you will have to derive that path on your own. So it can be risky a little bit. And okay, and so this is Nicholas. And do we have we had a third one, yeah? Thibaut, okay. It is also watch only. XPub. And the derivation is the same as here. That's Thibaut. Okay, so we are, yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, I
have a question.
Yeah.
You take the last digit of the derivation part is 2, but when I'm looking on my Sparrow and I just bring the XPub is 0.
So it means that you did not derive. I wanted to ask Thibaut and you, did you derive multisig XPubs? And probably not. So you need to rederive because it will pass the test. It will create a wallet,
yes,
but we will not be able to spend the funds.
Okay.
So you need to make sure that you are deriving multisig XPubs.
So mine is fault. I need to change.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is also why actually it's better when you derive to derive in a way that you see everything, all the information. Actually, fingerprint is not important because any seed will have its own fingerprint. But what is important is here, the derivation path and the XPub. And as you have noticed here, they didn't give me the derivation path. They only gave me the XPub, but it might be and it is probably a single sig XPub. So if you can please rederive, or I can simply use my other devices. We still have 20 minutes. Yes?
So, talking about recovery without the descriptor, you said you need descriptor to recover the entire multisig. I was
Yes.
wondering, supposing that we know the cosigners, the XPub of the cosigners and the derivation path, can we recover without the descriptor or no?
Yes. If you know exactly how you put them and you know the quorum. Actually, let me show you. I have a descriptor here for the wallet that I created. Give me 1 second, just. I will show you how it looks. 5. Okay. So this is the wallet that I have created previously. And that's you see, that's the descriptor. So if you see sorted multisig 2, and then you have, this is the fingerprint, this is the derivation path, this is the XPub. Okay. Here, this is the second fingerprint, the second derivation path, which is identical because it has to be this one for multisig. And then, where is it here? This is the third fingerprint, the same derivation path again, and the third XPub. So if this is a standard way of creating descriptors, but so again, if you know the quorum and you know all the XPubs, definitely you can reconstruct it, yes. But it's better to keep what I often say to customers and people in general. It's better to keep the descriptor with your private key, with each of the private keys, because you are not actually here. The only thing that is leaking is privacy. I might even, it is not recommended, but even if you upload this to some cloud, the worst thing that might happen is you lose privacy. Someone who gets access to this, that person can track your operations, your spendings, and so on. But in the worst case scenario, you can recover your funds.
Darko, can you make a screenshot and push it to the document
This
for
one?
scanning? For scanning that, can you create a screenshot and put it
Oh.
into the document?
I don't have a screenshot software here. But if you have Spectre DIY, you can just come closer and it can, or here on the screen. Okay, so you want to show the descriptor? You want to show them the descriptor? Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
We are part of
So-
the Multisig, right?
But wait, this is my old multisig. This is not the one that I created recently. I mean, I didn't even finish it because I didn't have the XPubs. This is the one that I had for my personal demo if the participative one fails. Did you send the... Is this updated or not? No? Okay, then I mean, let's just, we don't have a lot of time, so I will just go on with the one that I had created previously. It is this one here, Plan B. I tested yesterday to see if everything works, obviously. Let me just show you what is the setup. As I have mentioned in the beginning, I have, where is it, Ledger Flex, which is the first signer, fingerprint derivation XPub, Spectre DIY, and cold card. And the descriptor that you have just seen, this one is from that wallet. So I have already imported on all of my 3 devices. And I mean, it's too far, you will not see it. I don't have, I can show it later for those who want to see, but it simply says that you are importing a multisig 2 out of 3, you can name it however you want, and it will say first cosigner, it will show you the fingerprint derivation path XPub, and it will say external, for example. It means that it's not his key. Then, let's say the second key is the key of that device, it will tell, okay, internal key, XPub, derivation and everything, and the third one will be obviously, again, external, that will be this one, and the same information gets displayed on all devices, and this is very important. People often forget about that, but this way you will be sure that your devices are participating in the correct multisig, and this is very important. Yes?
Yeah, I have one question. So if the main wallet is hardware,
Yes.
if the main wallet is the hardware wallet, can we create a multisig with the 2 software wallets? Like,
What do you mean main wallet?
I mean, like,
You have keys.
yeah.
Those are 3 keys. The a key can be generated on a computer, on a hardware wallet, it's the same. It's just a piece of information. So you can have a setup where you have one hardware wallet, which is 1 key, and then a second key is your computer, and a third key is your wife's computer. So 2 hot wallets and
Yeah, I mean,
1 hardware wallet.
the second signature, for example, to come from the Sparrow wallet.
Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
that's
Yes, of
also
course.
Fine,
Yeah.
a fine setup, right?
Yeah. That's what I have shown you like 15 minutes ago when I tried to create a new wallet. So if I go back here, you can. So you create multisig, native SegWit 2 out of 3. So let's say this is a hardware wallet. You connect it. This is also, let's say, a hardware wallet, and this one you want it to be a hot wallet from here, and it just will generate, and this is a hot wallet.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it will be able to sign, but be aware of the fact that this key is the weakest one in the setup, and the only thing that will protect this key is the password that protects the file on your computer, which is weak
Okay. Thanks.
compared to secure elements. Okay, let's go back here. So where is my, this one. As I have said, so this is an operational wallet. Before I send funds to that, it is always very advisable to destroy your setup and try to recover it. So let's say I have created my setup here and I don't have time, but if it's for your own funds, you should delete this wallet. Actually, before doing that, you should go and derive receiving addresses. Receive addresses, which is here. You can derive an additional address. You should save that address somewhere. And now you go back and you destroy this setup here. And you should try to reconstruct the same wallet and see if once you have recovered your multisig, do you have the same receiving addresses? It means that your backup is well in order. That is important. If you like risk, you send maybe 0.5 Bitcoin there before destroying it, and then you try to recover. I know people that did that as well. Some people like risk. And so that's the proper way of doing it. And also an important consideration about backups is that you should use the 3-2-1 rule, which is not specific to cryptocurrencies. It's used everywhere in computers. It simply means that you should have 3 copies on 2 different media, and one of the copies should be far enough from the other ones. An example of that is, so for each of the seed words, so in my case, let's say ledger flex, so the seed that was generated by a secure element of this device, I export it on a piece of high quality paper. I export it on some metal based medium, and I have, let's say, the third copy, which we might consider to be in the device itself. So this way I have 3 different media: paper, the device itself, and metal. And that's the minimum. And one of those copies, let's say, actually each copy should have metal and paper in one location, metal and paper in a second location, and metal and paper in a third location. And this third tuple, those 2 media, should be, for example, if I live here in Lugano, that third copy should be, for example, in Neuchâtel, on the other side of the country, because usually the minimum is 80 kilometers, and that's enough even in the cases of natural disasters, so that you can regain access to your wallet. Even I think the exclusion zone after the Chernobyl accident was somewhere around 80 kilometers, so you should be fine. So backups are very important, and obviously the descriptor with each one of the backups, so that you are sure. And now we can receive some funds to my wallet. Before receiving the funds, what is very, very advisable is to display the address of the multisig on your device. That way, as I have mentioned in the beginning, you trust the device itself, the screen of the device, and you do not trust your computer. Hopefully, if your computer is safe enough, you did everything properly, you will see the same address here and on the device. But that is a crucial step that you should never ignore. You should not just be on your computer and let's say you click, I don't know, get new address and you just send to this one. You don't know if this one actually, maybe my computer has a virus and it derives addresses differently. So I want to verify the address. Okay, so for the verification, I will have to use a device that is connected. Which one? Okay, this one, for example. And actually, the verification of the address is only possible because your device has imported the descriptor. If the device doesn't have the descriptor, it will tell you that it is blindly going to sign because it's signed something that it doesn't recognize. It's not part of that multisig. And that should be a warning for you. If you see a message like that, it means that, oh, I'm not participating in that one. And I should obviously not sign. I need to unlock the device. It is a test one with a simple password. Select the Bitcoin app and click on display address here, and I mean it's too small, you don't see, but I can tell you what's written there. I don't know why, but this device, Ledger devices, every time I try to interact with the device for multisig transactions, it wants to register the account every time. That's not the case for all devices. Actually, it means that it doesn't keep the descriptor, but if I remember correctly, they have the hash, or there is a way to verify that it's still the same descriptor. But other devices, for example, the Spectre device will import the descriptor, and it will not ask you every time to re-import it. So actually, that's also it can be a nice feature. So it simply says review account, and you will see 2 out of 3 the script, so witness script hash, sorted multisig 2, key number 1, key number 2, key number 3, review cosigner public keys, those are the XPubs. It will show you, actually here it says internal, so that's the key of this device. The next one is going to be key number 2, it's external, FFA, that's the cold card fingerprint. And the third one is Spectre, and I need to approve. And now it will show me verify Bitcoin address. That's what I was trying to check. And I should see the same address here as the one that is displayed on the screen. And on the screen I have BC1QUU. Yes, BC1QUU. And the last, let's say, 6 characters. CVC07, yes. So it's the same one. And a nice feature is that I can show that as QR code here as well as there. And now I can send funds to the multisig, and then I will try to spend them. If you have questions, don't hesitate, because we will have to wait some moment because it's mainnet and it's not Lightning. Do we have questions? Yes? Sorry? Yeah, it might happen that we will not be able to finish this demo, but I did many demos on testnet, and I didn't decide to do that because I need to simulate the blockchain, and you need to run commands, and people get lost. So this is why I chose mainnet. Yes.
Hi. Yeah, I was wondering if you could talk quickly about key rotation if one of the keys might be compromised.
Yes. Okay. So key rotation in Bitcoin, you cannot swap, exchange a key, and then, for example, in my setup here, let's say that I lost cold card. I don't have access to that anymore. I cannot simply go here and replace that. Actually, I mean, yes, but it will not, the address, the descriptor will not be the same. Obviously, the addresses will not be the same. So in Bitcoin, it will recreate a new wallet. It's not like, for example, in smart contracts in Ethereum, when you rotate the key, you can keep the same smart contract, the same address. That doesn't work in Bitcoin. Those are completely new setups. Yes. Yeah. I mean, those would be advanced use cases for people who know what they're doing. I always advise for simplicity. That's the best way to be sure that you will not lock yourself out of your funds. You should have simple setups with clean documentation, for example, that is important for inheritance questions and problems. What happens if you disappear and someone will try to recover your funds? The most important is documentation. You should have documents somewhere with the seed that says, okay, I created with my setup with that software wallet, this was the procedure and so on. So documentation is very important. Did we receive the funds? Oh, yes, we have 5,000. Okay. It was fast, but it's not confirmed, no? I don't see. Unconfirmed, yeah. Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, sorry, I didn't understand. So as long as your device was not compromised, of course you can reuse it. There is no, because the key is inside of the secure element, and you can reuse it without any problems. But you will need to add a third key, which has to be from a new device, and so on. Yes. I will try to spend now, and while I'm trying to spend, I just wanted to let you talk about the association for maybe 2 minutes while I try to spend.
Can I just ask a quick question?
This one works, you can sit here.
Can I just ask a quick one, please, Darko?
Yes.
So my question is, can a single SIG XPub be used in a multi-sig setup? Now, I think that was the question that was just asked. So if I have 3 single SIG wallets with 3 private keys, right, because the XPub is different, isn't it?
The only difference is here, this part, the derivation. You can it will create a Frankenstein multisig, but it will not work. You will not be able to spend.
Okay, thank you.
Test. Yeah, so I have.
Yes, I will try to spend.
Awesome.
Yes.
Just a question, Electrum versus Sparrow.
Electrum is also very good. It's a very old wallet. I chose this one because it has a nice looking interface. Yeah. I like the color scheme.
And Electrum doesn't work good with air-gapped hardware wallets for QR code hardware wallets.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I want to ask, in order to recover all the funds, you need the 3 sets of keys and all the XPubs, like if I'm correct.
You have the quorum. You need the quorum of the keys.
The quorum, okay.
So Can you describe the situation? What
like
happened?
the
You lost.
situation, like I have 3 sets of keys. Let's say that I lose one, like it's a 2 of 3, and I need all the XPubs if I'm not wrong, because you don't need to keep all the XPubs. Like I know that the single seeds you don't need to keep the XPubs. You don't need the XPubs to access.
I mean, in a 2 out of 3 multisig, if you still have an operational Sparrow wallet, for example, you will be able to rescue your funds because you have 2 keys.
Yeah, just the 2 keys.
Yeah,
I don't need XPubs.
It's already inside. If you still have access to the coordinator software to Sparrow, it will work because you need 2 signers. Because we have maybe a couple of more minutes.
Okay, then now I want to say something about the Spectre hardware wallet we used earlier. So because the hardware wallet started in 2020 and then got bought, like the rights, not the code rights, but the rights from the like logo and Twitter accounts and everything, got bought from Swan in 2020. And 1 month ago, they gave all the rights back. They gifted us back the rights, and we founded an association in Switzerland, so from legal perspective, and now get all the rights back. And now we are like 11 members. Darko is 1 member here at our association as well. And now we are like, bringing the Spectre project back and now doing a little bit of development. We have all the media channels, the GitHub, the website, everything back, and now we are kind of like develop the Spectre hardware wallet a little bit more. I just wanted to mention that, and thanks to Darko, because he's now doing a lot of a couple of Spectre stuff as well, like workshops where he shows it and everything. And I want to thank Darko for this. And now I want to announce that like the Spectre is like
Spectre is back.
Yeah.
Which is one of the coolest hardware wallets, actually. You have a secure element with a smart card. It's really cool, and you can do it on your own. So.
Do you have a booth in the exhibition area?
So I don't have one, but I'm like walking around with a suitcase. So maybe can you?
You can at the end you can have a chat maybe because we are out of time.
So I will just, we don't have time, but I will show you how it looks, actually explain you how it looks on one of the signers. So this one will try to sign actually, and it says from 2 out of 3 multisig, the amount, so it's 4,800 sats, to the address. That address is the one of the external wallet, and I need to approve. It has some fees, obviously, because it's mainnet, and actually even testnet has fees. Hold to sign, and it will transfer the PSBT back to the computer, to the coordinator software, to Sparrow. And here you can see 1 out of 2 devices has signed. And if I have maybe 1 minute, I can sign with the other one. So I need to choose here, where is it? Show QR code. I need to go there. Because it has a lot of information. So, I mean, we are running out of time. So actually, the next step would be just to import here and then sign and then get the PSBT back to here to Sparrow, and it will be able to spend because it has 1 and 2, and that is exactly the number of signatures that is needed for us to spend the funds from the multisig. Yeah. Do we have other questions? Yes. The other ways would be to save the transaction and just communicate via SD card, for example. Yeah.
As far as I understand, the biggest risk you can avoid with multisig is having all the signing devices in the same place. Is that correct? And
Yes, you can.
for example, like kidnapping situations, do you think the best solution is time-locked solutions, or what's your rabbit hole you recommend?
We don't have time to discuss that, but there are many details that I did omit during the presentation because we are very limited in terms of time. But for example, for those kinds of setups or concerns, maybe mini-script enabled wallets are a better solution. It all depends on the case. We could discuss about that for hours, you know. One of the nice features of multisig, the old one, is that as I have mentioned, it's very tested. It's been used for many years by big players, exchanges, and so on. And thanks to this PSBT standard and interoperability, you might even have a computer that is in a bunker 1 kilometer underground, and you just sign there. The devices never leave such secure places, and you just travel with your SD card, which transports the PSBT, and then you can assemble those PSBTs on a computer that is connected to the internet, and you just broadcast from there. That is also a possible setup, thanks to PSBT. Questions? Yes? That's possible, but not advisable. As I have said, the advantage of multisig is to have various devices from various manufacturers. Even Spectre, that I like so much, I wouldn't do, for example, 3 devices only, multisig made out of 3 Spectre devices. You should mix them. Always. Obviously, the reason is, for example, if there is a bug here, the chance that all 3 of them, they have a bug at the same time and that someone has access to all 3 devices is like very slim. So this is the reason to prevent those kinds of problems.
But if the third signer is Sparrow, then you still have 2 hardware wallets. So I mean, there's still an element of security there, no?
Yes, yeah, obviously. Yeah. It's all about, at some point, about paranoia. How far do you want to go into that rabbit hole? I know people who live and operate only with hot wallets on their computers. Thank you very much.